There are 5 things I did that helped me and some of my friends who just started Upwork get their first set of clients. Getting your first set of clients on Upwork or any freelancing site is the hardest part of your freelancing journey or career, right? Once you get past that red line by securing your first clients, you'll be on a smooth sail and you'll now rely on good reviews to keep that momentum. You need proof. Who doesn't need proof? Prove that you can deliver whatever you're offering. Gather anything you can. If you'll be offering design, art, or photography services, create a portfolio online or curate your designs in a Google Drive folder. If you're into content writing or any other services, you should just gather anything you can. Anything that will show your proficiency or competency. Think about it. If the table should turn around and you're on the client side, where you are the person to give out the job, you wouldn't want to spend your money or give your money out to any Tom and Jerry. You would want to see evidence or any proof at all that they are capable of delivering what they say they will deliver. The next tip is to optimize your profile. Use a clean corporate profile picture. You need to look like you have sense, like you are responsible. Wear a glass if you can. It helps make you look more intelligent. Write a compelling brief about yourself. Indicate every skill and certification you have. Don't forget to fill in your educational qualifications. It's very, very important. Also, add your verified Coursera or Skillshare certifications if you have. If you don't, take courses on Coursera or Skillshare to show that you are regularly challenged or willing to upskill. Add anything addable. Let it choke and let them believe. Apply for jobs at ridiculously low prices. You are trying to make your first impression. It's okay to apply for a job and offer to do it for half the client's budget. Remember, there are other people pitching for that same job and most of them are already established or they have proven track records. The client is more likely to look at their direction and give them the job if you are offering the same service for the same price. Remember, the goal is to get your first clients and reviews, not to buy a refinery. Take this as your starting capital or investment. Use a creative cover letter and mention the client's name. It helps. Something that always works for me is saying stuff like, "Hey Travis, I must do this," or "Dear Scott, I really want to do this," or "Philippa, I can make this perfect." When they see stuff like this, they are forced to stop. They are captured. Like, they will be forced to give your later attention. Also, use capital letters on headings to enforce emphasis and to draw more attention. Read the job brief thoroughly to the end. This is a mistake most people do. They just go and get a generic or any template at all on the internet or something they've been using and they just change the client's requirements. They don't even read through the client's brief to know what specific items or requirement that the client needs, and they just send out anything and missed out on a lot of details. So basically, don't use a template for all your letters. Make every letter personal and special and address every requirement that the client has stated in their brief. Also, look out for hidden client passwords or hints in their briefs. Sometimes the client would write something like, "Add this number in your cover letter to show that you've read the entire brief." They want to be sure you read the entire brief and you understand this entire scope of the job and you're able to deliver it. And you didn't just see the headline and you sent them a generic template. Read your cover letter to yourself and ensure it's compelling and exciting enough to convince you yourself if you were to be the client. So that cover letter you are trying to send to your clients, read it aloud to yourself and make sure it's able to convince you emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever. Just make sure it's able to convince you. If it is not able to convince you, you better start working on it. You can also use Grammarly to correct grammatical errors. You can use other tools like Jarvis to, twist your grammar and make it more complicated, to sound very intelligent and concise and not blabbering everywhere. So where necessary, also use uppercase, and where necessary, also use lowercase, or where necessary, also use title case. Check out for errors, capital letters. Make sure your it is not it, and make sure your I am is not am. Little details like that spoils the client's perception of you. So you can use tools like Grammarly and other AI tools available online. I should make a video on that very, very soon. Don't be afraid to apply for as many jobs as you find. I would recommend applying for the best 3 jobs you find daily. This is because to apply for jobs, you spend what Upwork calls connect, and your connect gets replenished only once a month or when a client invites you to interview for a job you applied for. So you have to use it wisely and not spend it anyhow. So these are the tips and tricks I have used to get my first clients, and they have also helped people around me, my friends, to get their first clients on Upwork. If you know of any tips that could be helpful and wasn't mentioned in this video, please leave them in the comment section. Also, if you use these tips and they work for you, don't forget to share your testimony or experience with us. Follow or subscribe for more tips like this one.